This ended up being a really fun build. It was a 100% fly by the seat of my pants project. I started off with this huge chunk of walnut on the lathe. It was about 7 inches in diameter, if I remember correctly. I wanted to start on the base first to see what that would look like and try to figure out the size and dimensions that I wanted to do. We have 3 kids in orchestra and only 1 music stand to go between the 3 of them. So I've been looking at making them at least 1, if not 2 music stands. One of them I wanted to be one that would sit on the table or on a desktop, someplace where it wouldn't be on the floor and in the way, that could be movable, and also low enough for our youngest, who was only 8. had absolutely no idea what I was doing when I was making this music stand. I was just going by what I know of turning and what I know of making other things like furniture and seeing what I can throw together. I wasn't even sure how I was going to attach the music stand part to the base at this point. I just wanted to start with the base, and I used pictures of like 1970s lamps to kind of get my inspiration of what I wanted the base to look like. There was a lot of bug holes in this walnut, so I spent quite a long time with CA glue and epoxy filling all these holes and some of the cracks that were coming up as the wood dried when I was turning. The reason I put a recess at the bottom of the base instead of using a tenon is that I didn't want to have to worry about turning it back over again or putting on a jam chuck to be able to take off that tenon. So I figured having a recess at the bottom wasn't going to hurt anything, nobody's going to see it, and it would just be just fine. So I went ahead and did my best making my very first recess, and it seemed to go okay. And this way I also knew that I could put it back on later when everything was done if I needed to refine anything or needed to take the little nib off the end, or the top I should say, of the base later. I'm working on the neck of the bass, where I will hopefully by the end be able to attach the top or the stand part where the music will go onto the music stand. I wasn't quite sure if this was going to work or not, but I figured I'd try my best. Wasn't even sure what size I needed it, just trying to make it look nice, and would go from there. Adding a lot more CA glue to fill in those gaps, those places that as I took more off and refined the shape, they were more exposed. This is always the fun part. So this was a really scary part because I did not know if I was going to be able to do this right, if it was going to go through without cracking, whether or not I would be able to make it straight through without it being crooked and off. So it's like the moment of truth, you know, trying to make sure that all that work wasn't for nothing. I took a smaller bit and went all the way through to the other side so then I could line up each side as I went halfway through one side and halfway through the other to make a through hole. If you would like to see how this all comes together and if I was able to make the whole thing, please watch part 2.